Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sergeant Corey Oleschuk, and I'll be your MC today. Before we begin, I'd like to thank all those people joining us by live stream, and a huge thank you to Shout Media for making this possible. I'd now like to ask the Matawa Drum Group to begin the ceremony with a welcome song, and I would ask if you are able to please stand and remain standing for the song and prayer to follow. Thank you, Matawa Drum Group. We're pleased to have Helen Cromarty here today and to so graciously join us for today's ceremony. Helen is a highly experienced retired nurse with subsequent success as a senior health policy analyst. She has made major contributions to improving the health services available to Aboriginal people living across Ontario. Helen was involved in developing the Aboriginal Healing and Wellness Strategy for Ontario, the Native Nurses Entry Program for Lakehead University, and many other program initiatives. She sits as a board member of the Northern Ontario School of Medicine. Helen is an advisor to the Canadian Council for Health Services Accreditation, Canada's counterpart to JCAHO. As a member of the senior administrative team at Sulukau Menoyawan Health Center, Helen worked with 28 First Nations communities scattered over 385,000 square kilometers. She is working to shift mainstream medicine by helping with the establishment of Ontario's designated Centre of Excellence for First Nations Health. Helen is from Satchko Lake First Nation, an isolated Ojibwe speaking community of 475 people located 90 minutes by air from the nearest road accessible community. I would ask Helen to begin the ceremony with an opening prayer, and I would ask that everyone who is able to remain standing.
Wajia, very nice to see everybody. Before I say a prayer, I would like to congratulate the graduates and the retiree, but also to let you all know, I didn't know my life story sounded like that. I've been retired now for 10 years, and I really don't miss it because, helping out at Anishinaabe ASCII, the work never stops, does it? It just keeps going, and I enjoy doing that. And for the graduates, if you enjoy what you are doing, do it. Do it with kindness and compassion. Always be willing to learn more. Learning never stops. It's just not in the classroom. It's out there within the communities, within your workplace, your families. You learn so much, learn new things. And what I always tell kids is, if you don't know something, asking never hurts. You might even get the right answer. So, keep on learning and keep on working. It's a place, when you go north, the communities are different. They're all different. The people are different. They have their own cultures within their own communities. And right across Anishinaabe ASCII Nation, we have 4 specific languages. And the area where I'm from, in the Sulukau area, we have 3 distinct languages and 19 dialects. So oftentimes we have fun talking to each other. When we provided training for medical interpreters in Sulukau, and once they graduated, they had to learn the 3 languages to be able to converse with patients. And one of the things that I had impressed upon them was, you have to interpret correctly. Now, this is not just in health. I think it's in all the professions, especially your profession. You're going to be dealing with many people with many languages and many dialects. So if you should misinterpret, often that leads to misdiagnosis, which in turn leads to mistreatment, treating the wrong illness. And you have to remember those 3 M's when you go out there. But like I said, always do it with kindness and compassion and understand. Always ask questions and, be willing to learn. They'll teach you how to go do ghost hunting. That's coming up right now. So if you want to go ghost hunting, move up there, right? Yes. Learn how to pluck a goose like a Muskego woman. Those are fun to watch. I'm allergic to feathers really bad, so I can't do that anymore. So, but for today, my congratulations to all of you, all the work that you've done. But now your work, have fun with it also. Okay, it's a good experience to be in. Whatever profession you're in, you always remember your experiences when you started. And those people who became your mentors, cherish them all. Cherish your families. Cherish your babies. And remember, all children matter. So for today, we ask the Creator as we come together. We give thanks to the Creator for giving us this day. We give thanks to the Creator for giving us a new season, that we will prepare for the growing season. Mother Nature is waking up. Mother Nature will bring forth a new growth, new learnings to our lives. And I ask the Creator to give us guidance and direction as we go forward, that we be able to help and direct these new graduates, the young people. I ask the Creator also to keep us mindful of the needs of others always. And I thank everybody and ask for blessings for all that have come here today. Go with pride. Be very proud of your individuals who are here and support them. Mis na ako manan nukta, koyak chituta diak, koyak chuit chitiak, chuit and kim diak. Ikaw ni kawit chumachen ni mayak, chumane ni mayak, chumane tuta wayak. Mis na ako manan kachan kaso koche, niwa, even. Niwach.
Thank you, Helen. You may be seated. Welcome to the NAPS badge and warrant card ceremony to witness our newest members receiving their badge and warrant cards. Hello to all of us joining by live stream today. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge Elders Helen Cromarty, Deputy Grand Chief Anna Betty Achnapaneskam, Deputy Grand Chief Linklater, Chief of Police Roland Morrison, Deputy Chief Daryl Snyder, Thunder Bay Police Chief Dan Taddeo, Chief Designate Darcy Fleury, NAPS Command Staff, Detective Inspector Brad Deuce, Inspectors Ross and Cece, Sergeant Major Spence, and of course, our long-serving Board Chair, Mike Metawaban. We're pleased and honored to have here today Deputy Grand Chief Anna Betty Achnapaneskam in person to speak to our newest recruits. Deputy Grand Chief Anna Betty Achnapaneskam is Muskego from Martin Falls First Nation. As Deputy Grand Chief for Anishinaabe Nation and as a social justice advocate for many years, she has strived and committed to raising awareness of issues and challenges experienced by First Nations people, families, women, and children. Anna Betty is a person of action and a strong voice for transformative social change. Her life's work and contributions are driven by a passion to help the most marginalized people, especially the people from the Anishinaabe Nation territory. In whatever she does, she advocates for equitable access to justice and services and for improving the quality of life, community wellness, and safety for all NAN citizens. She currently resides in Thunder Bay and credits her children, grandchildren, and her first great-granddaughter as the inspirations for her lifelong work, service, and advocacy. Please join me in welcoming Deputy Grand Chief Betty Achnapaneskam to the podium.
Wache, Kitchamingwich, Kishaya, Helen Camardi, Gagi Michigan, Egadash Gagi Mawtegat. First of all, I acknowledge the prayer that was shared by Elder Helen Camardi and those that sang the drum song this afternoon. Thank you very much for that. And also to the sacred items that we have in the room with us. I'm very thankful and honored to be here today. In my role as the Deputy Grand Chief for Anishinaabe Nation, there's many tasks that I have to fulfill and be a part of. Being part of the badge ceremony is one of the greatest things that I get to participate in. To see the accomplishments that have been made by the police services of Anishinaabe Nation. It's a testament of the hard work that our senior administration at police services deals with. Our chief of police, Roland Morrison, our deputy chief, and all the command staff, and also our board of directors. So when we come to these badge ceremonies, it is a very fulfilling experience. And it is a time for us to celebrate and honor the individuals that come forward to pursue a career in policing. And I'm very thankful that you have made that choice. I wish you well in your endeavors as serving as a police officer. When you go into our communities, at times you'll hear a drum. There are times where you're going to hear cries of sorrow. At times you will hear laughter. You will hear children playing. I encourage you to all be to embrace those, because the people that you serve will become your family. And when you get to be part of those things, that is where the trust in a relationship builds. And that's where the caring and respectful relationship will flourish. I also want to acknowledge the family members that are here, because I know it is a sacrifice for you as well to have your son, husband, brother, go into these fields, and to our daughters as well that serve as police officers. So I thank you for that. I know it is a big sacrifice. I'm a mother of an officer as well. He's no longer serving, but I'm quite aware of the struggles and the challenges, as well as the fulfillment of that. So I thank each and every one of you for doing that. We will continue to keep you in our prayers, as we do for every single officer that is serving in our communities in this nation. And we will be there at times to come and visit with you when times get hard. And times will get hard. I encourage you to maintain that strong relationship with your supervisors and your senior officers, because they are very devoted and committed to ensuring that you are doing well. So I congratulate you, and on behalf of the non-executive, Deputy Linklater, who is here, Deputy Bobby Narcisse, and all the leadership of Anishinaabe Nation and the people of Anishinaabe Nation, we wish you well and we congratulate you. And I'm very thankful again that you have chosen this career. Miwe, Chimingwech.
Thank you, Deputy Grand Chief, and all of Anishinaabe Police Board, thank you for your work. We're pleased and honored to have here today to have on our board Chairperson Mike Menawabin speak to our newest recruits. Mike Menawabin was born and raised in the First Nation community of Fort Albany, located along the shores of Western James Bay. He is a proud father of 2 boys and 2 daughters with 5 grandchildren and is married to his wife, Eva, of 24 years. He is a survivor of the infamous St. Anne's Residential School, which was located right in their community. It is now known as one of the more notorious schools of its time, and not much different with all the other schools that were part of the National Residential School Policy. Mr. Menawabin comes from a family who have always been passionate in providing leadership and advocacy for the community members in general. His father and 2 brothers before him were elected to serve as chief for their community. Mike Menawabin was elected as chief of Fort Albany back in 1998 and served 4 consecutive terms until 2006. Mike's heart is truly that of a humanitarian. 2 most notable accomplishments worth mentioning during his term and shortly after being newly elected was the removal of the third-party manager within 6 months and the construction of a new school. The new place of learning facility provided an opportunity for the community to begin a new chapter in their journey together to get away from the dreadful past and effects of the National Residential School Policy. Mike Menawabin was also appointed to serve as president for Wawate Communication Society back in June of 1998, a position he continues to hold today. In the subsequent years following, he was appointed as board chair for Anishinaabe Police Services, chairperson for the People's Aboriginal Television Network, president for 5 Nations Energy Incorporated. During his term as board chair, Mr. Menawabin was successful in working with his colleagues in pushing to make an amendment to the Ontario Police Services Act that would bring the Anishinaabe Police Services recognition under the provincial rule of law. In 2009, Mr. Menawabin was elected as Deputy Grand Chief for Anishinaabe Nation, a position that provided an opportunity to address the opioid addictions epidemic, which sadly is still ongoing today with our communities in Northern Ontario. Mr. Menawabin is also respectfully recognized for his role in working as an Indigenous language broadcaster for both Wawate Radio and Television, serving 35 remote communities in Northern Ontario. These various capacities has led Mr. Menawabin to develop and maintain a strong relationship with all the different levels of government agencies, locally, regionally, provincially, and at the federal level. He is people-driven to make a difference through organizations that provide frontline services to the communities. This has led him to develop a close connection to people of Northern Ontario and has allowed him to continue his work as an advocate for the people. His jovial demeanor is a pleasure to work alongside. Throughout these dedicated years of service, Mr. Menawabin began to turn his attention toward addressing the dark legacies of his heritage by writing memoirs and poetry. Work is currently in progress to have these projects published. Mr. Menawabin previously worked also with 5 Nations Energy as the manager for external development and communications. Please join me in welcoming Board Chair Mike Menawabin to the podium.
Wajik Mswe, good afternoon. Kino tagaytaik, nesta kino ki wakaytaik, kabitchin tatame, kabitcha kanova miak, tahta umedu chatik, ekis kuna chahestik, mogo. Anost mine, kabitchi, avat the sistamaguya, kabitchi avat the sistamagiachik. Kina nanorte, and the nok, kitestana nakaytaik. Greetings to all of you. Greetings to everyone, each and everyone, family members, graduates. For those folks who are back home or back in the communities or at work, welcome, and we're happy to have you. Happy that you could join us. It's been a long journey in terms of trying to get to where we want to be. And I'm just going to say a few words about that. The police services started back in 1994. But at that time, our beginnings were very, very meager. I'll use the word meager. I couldn't think of a better word. But in terms of a service that was expected to police a region so big, so vast, so remote, it proved to be very challenging. And as the work progressed, we come to a point too where we realized that under the Police Services Act of Ontario, we were not part of that equation. We were not included under the Police Services Act. So therefore, we did not have that recognition. We did not have that full authority. So that itself, getting to that point of making changes, convincing government that it was dreadfully necessary to make that change. The work is still ongoing. We're not quite finished. I would say we're at least 95% complete in achieving that goal. What we're waiting for now is the proclamation. I guess in simple language, the rubber stamp to make it all official. But that's been the story, the journey of Anishinaabe Police Services. From a beginning where we were not recognized to where we are today. And I'm anxious and waiting for that day where we will be officially and legally recognized under all those policies of Ontario, policing being one of them. So with the graduates, in sharing, in welcoming you as part of your journey, like I said, these communities are remote, fly-in communities. Once you land there, you're there for your 14-day duration. There's no roads coming in or out. So family can't visit. Girlfriends, boyfriends, they can't visit. So you're there for the full duration. At least we've gotten that far. Whereas before, had you gone up there, you'd been there 3 months, 6 months before you could come out. It was just situations were desperate and resources were not as plentiful as they are today. It's unfortunate, but at the same time, it's reassuring that at least in Ontario, we have governments that are listening, that are working with us, that are working with the First Nations to make it better. We've come so far in terms of how things, trying to make it better, trying to make it work a lot better for your sons, your daughters, for our communities. And we couldn't have done that without the support, the backing of our political leadership from the Anishinaabe Nation, from our political leadership from the communities, the chiefs. They were involved as well. We've had numerous assemblies where we identified the issues, the challenges. They in turn provided their support with their political backing to make it work, to make governments listen and provide the necessary resources that we needed. So I just want to say to the graduates, welcome, congratulations. And as was said earlier, get to know the community, get to know the people. You will see a lot. You will see things maybe you didn't expect to see. And that's because of our long history, our long, sad history of where we are today and those things that we're still trying to address. So there'll be challenges, there'll be hardships, but for the most part, the land is there. The land to go out, to go fishing, to be able to enjoy a leisure walk or leisure time. For us, that's all we have left is the land. The land is all we have left where we are located. The lands are still pretty much remote, isolated. So that's what you will find. In closing, I just, currently we're continuing to engage and have dialogues with the communities, to listen to the communities, to ask the communities what they would like to see of our policing services. So the theme is, they're all the same. Naturally, because we occupy the same region, so everything's the same. The isolation, the remoteness. Like I said, get to know the community. A lot of communities, they in turn too may not be as open, come right out. It works both ways for everybody. We all have to do our part. We all have to get involved. We all have to participate. And one of them is welcoming our new police recruits, our new constables, or the police services that we work with, and all the other frontline agencies that we deal with. Everybody has to do their part. So I don't want to continue rambling here, but I do want to say thank you to the families, to the recruits, to our constables for doing what you do, for carrying on, even though it's long, hard hours, very challenging times. We appreciate it. The communities appreciate the work you do. Thank you, Mr. Minguez. What Jake say?
Thank you, Chair. Our ceremony continues with each recruit coming to the front of the podium where they'll be presented with a badge, a symbol of their authority to act as a police officer in the province of Ontario. As the new member comes forward, their name and posting will be announced and their badge will be presented by the Chief of Police. At this time, I'd like to call upon Chief of Police Roland Morrison for presentation of the badges, assisted by Deputy Chief Daryl Snyder and Allison Jennings, Director of Human Resources. The initial postings will be for training, where the officers will spend 4 months being partnered up with a knowledgeable coach officer. Please step forward to salute the Chief of Police when your name is called. Constable Jacob Blanchette-Lair. Badge number 1690, posted to Sachigo Lake. Constable Blanchette-Lair is from Thunder Bay and graduated from Confederation College. His family is in attendance here today. His mother, Wendy, and father, Richard, as well as his girlfriend, Alyssa. He has one son, age 12, named Connor. Previously, Jacob was an armed guard for Garda World Cash Services. He's very excited to hit the road and protect his new community. His hobbies and interests include MMA, jiu-jitsu, and IPSC competition shooting. Constable Riley Genier, badge number 1677. Yep. Constable Riley Genier will be receiving his badge from his parents, Riley and Pat. He's here today with his serving NAPS family member and mother, Denise. His father is Patrice, and they're overjoyed with their son's success. His girlfriend, Riza, is also in attendance. Riley graduated from Cambrian College Police Foundations 2014. He was previously employed with the Canadian Forces, 2nd Regiment, Royal Canadian Horse Artillery. Constable Genier is very proud of the road he has traveled so far and very much looks forward to getting to work. Constable Matt Gulka, number 1679. Constable Gulka will be posted to Sandy Lake. He's from Thunder Bay. His proud family is here with him today. His parents are Ron and Susan. His wife is Zoe, and he has a daughter named Harlow, age 9. Matt graduated from Lakehead University. Previously, he was a teacher, a correctional officer, and a special constable at NAPS. In Constable Gulka's words, he is beyond proud and honored to have this responsibility, as well as promote harmonious and healthy communities. Matt believes that serving as a uniform member is more than policing. It is about being an ally to NAN members and Indigenous people. He is thankful and grateful for this journey. Constable George Caracas, badge number 1689. Posting Summer Beaver. Constable Caracas is from Toronto, Ontario, and lives in Scarborough. Today, he is sharing this special occasion with his mother, Christy, and wife, Christina. He also recently found out he is expecting twins. Good luck. Previously, George was a special constable from Toronto Community Housing. He graduated from York University, Sociology, and Seneca College Police Foundations. His hobbies include hockey, fishing, traveling, and barbecuing. Constable Chris Calbas, badge number 1680. Posting Slate Falls. Constable Calbas is from Thunder Bay. To share this special turning point in his life is his mother Shirley, sister Megan, and daughter Olivia. Chris graduated from Lakehead University with honors bachelor degree, double major in political science, history, and the Royal Roads University Master of Arts degree in tourism management. Constable Calbas is looking forward to building an engaging relationship with the community he serves. He enjoys hiking, camping, mountain biking, and photography. Constable Devin Levinsky, number 1686. Posting to Fort Hope. Constable Levinsky is from Kirkland Lake. On this day to remember are his wife Madison and mother Jackie. Devin and Madison are expecting their first child in August. Constable Levinsky graduated from Nipissing University with a BA in criminal justice. Previously, his former career was at Angico Eagle Mines, 9.5 years, a job that requires an incredible amount of physical stamina and safety. Devin's hobbies are sports, traveling, paintball, hiking, and kayaking. Constable Donovan Rickard, badge number 1676. posting to Moose Factory. Constable Rickard is from Moose Factory. On this momentous day, his mother is here to share in the family pride and joy. His mother is Jennifer Hukama. He is also joined by his girlfriend, Justice Seidel, his stepmother, Dorinda Vincent, and his sisters, Ava and Carrington Gaveston. Constable Rickard was previously a guard and a cadet with NAPS. He loves connecting with the community and serving with fairness, respect, and empathy. Donovan is an avid outdoorsman and enjoys sports. Constable Brandon Risebrough, badge 1691, posted at Attawapiskat. He will be assisted by RCMP retired Chief Superintendent Marty Cheliak, who is his cousin. Constable Risebrough is from Mississauga, and his proud family is here today to celebrate this significant day. Prior to Ontario Police College, he graduated Mohawk College and was in automotive dealership management. Brandon says that policing has been his lifelong dream and goal and wishes to serve in a small community where he can really immerse himself. Constable Robert Solomon, badge number 1688, posting to Kashechewan. Constable Solomon was born in Cairo, Egypt, but now calls Mississauga home. Constable Solomon graduated prior to his policing career from Sheridan College with a bachelor in photography and with a Canadian Business College diploma for police foundations. He is really looking forward to helping the NAN community by leading with love, honesty, humility, bravery, respect, wisdom, and truth. His hobbies include camping, hunting, target shooting, road trips, traveling, and learning about different backgrounds and traditions. Constable Craig Tika, badge number 1685, posting Webequay. Constable Tika is from Kirkland Lake. We are grateful to have his family watching remotely, including his partner Jesse, and he also has two beautiful children, ages 6 and 8. He was previously security at Agnico Eagle Mines Limited and graduated from Canadore College. Craig is beyond thrilled to be working for NAPS and excited to get involved in the communities. Constable Tika is a hockey coach in his spare time and plays himself. Constable Pio Janice Xavier, badge number 1692, posting to Fort Severn. Constable Xavier is from Sri Lanka and calls Ajax home. His wife Alexandra is present and celebrating this monumental day with him today. He graduated from Ryerson University with a Bachelor of Science, major in medical physics, and Memorial University of Newfoundland with a Bachelor of Education. Constable Xavier previously resided and worked in Pekanjicum and believes this life experience will assist him in his new career. Constable Xavier prides himself on being very flexible and is an excellent communicator. Constable Xavier loves to play basketball, soccer, hiking, and fishing. We now have an experienced officer presentation. Assisting Chief Morrison is Chief Superintendent Karen Meyer. Chief Superintendent Karen Meyer joined the Ontario Provincial Police in 1998 as an experienced police officer, following 10 years with the Toronto Police Service. She has served in multiple areas of the Ontario Provincial Police over the past 25 years. In 2018, she was confirmed into the rank of superintendent as head of provincial communications operations within the Communications and Technology Services Bureau, or CTSB. In February 2021, she was promoted to chief superintendent and appointed as bureau commander of CTSB after acting in this role for approximately 1 year. Throughout her career, Chief Superintendent Meyer has sought to exemplify professionalism and integrity in policing and a commitment to lifelong learning. In 2021, she was appointed as a member of the Order of Merit of the Police Forces by the Governor-General of Canada in recognition of her contributions to the field of policing. She is also the recipient of the Police Exemplary Service Medal and Commissioner's Citations for Exemplary Performance and Bravery. Constable Meyer, please step forward. Number 1705, posted to Fort Hope. Constable Meyer is from Orillia. His proud parents are here in the audience to share in this significant day in his life. His parents are Karen and Chris Meyer. Constable Meyer was previously employed by the Ontario Provincial Police and graduated prior to that from Georgian College. His goal has always been to engage with community members and try to make a positive difference. He will strive to make the emergency response team and continue to achieve his goals. Constable Meyer is very driven. His hobbies include fitness, hockey, and golf. I would now ask that if you're all able to please stand while the Matawa Drum Group sings an honor song to acknowledge the accomplishments of these fine officers. Thank you, Matawa Drum Group. You may be seated. I would now like to invite Chief of Police Roland Morrison to the podium to address the newest members of the Anishinaabe Police Service and to remain to make a special presentation.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to tell you that this is the best day for a chief of police. It is. I always look forward to this day on the calendar because giving an officer their badge is always, to see the smile on their faces because the hard work that's been put into it. And when you look at the families that are here to recognize them, and we allow, as you saw, other officers who are working for other services to make presentations to their loved ones, to our newest officers. And also, we allow our family members who are employees of our service to also make presentations to their children who now become police officers with our service, as we saw with Pat and Denise, their son Riley. So it's always a pleasure to see our employees' children join the rank and file. So that's what you saw this morning, or just a little short time ago. But before I begin, I just want to say that it's always important to acknowledge the people in the room. It's always important to acknowledge the land that we're on, because today we are on the traditional territory of the Fort William First Nation within the Robinson Superior Treaty. And you've already heard that we have some honored guests here. And it's always a pleasure and honor to have Helen Camardi at our ceremonies, even at our meetings. She sets a tone, such a calm tone. And I think that just comes with experience. And I always have the utmost respect for Helen. We always have to have respect for our Gookums. And thank you very much, Helen, for coming here and saying the prayer. It's also important to honor our guests, our dignitaries. And Deputy Grand Chief Annabette Achapaniskim, thank you very much for attending. And also, Deputy Grand Chief Victor Linklater, thank you very much for coming. Victor and I, we know each other from Moose Factory, so it's always good to see you, Victor. Glad you can make it. Our board chair, is always important. We were up north yesterday in Pewanak, so it was always good to have our board chair here. And we also have Chief of Police Dan Taddeo from Thunder Bay Police, and we also have incoming Chief of Police Darcy Fleury, who we had a nice meeting this morning. It was my pleasure to meet you. Looking forward to working with you in the incoming months and for the foreseeable future. We also have Chief Superintendent Karen Meyer from the OPP. Thank you for having your son apply to our service, and we're happy to have him. So thank you very much. And again, we look at all the NAPS officers that are here in attendance. They're always great to see. Command staff, sergeants, staff sergeants, inspectors, and also our employees of our service. They're all here. They're all here to recognize our officers, our newest officers, because today is about them. Today is about them and their accomplishments. Because to get to today, a lot of things had to occur. First, it's a decision to become a police officer. Then, where are you going to apply? So we're very thankful that these members, our newest officers, chose Anishinaabe Police. So to get to today, they had to go through the application process. They had to get through the interview process, subject themselves to psychological and physical testing. And that's all before you even get the job, But then you have to go attend police college, 15, 16 weeks down there. Midterm exams, those are always fun to do. The more success you have at midterms, the easier it usually is at the final exams. And so everyone here passed flying colors. So that is a testament to the dedication and the hard work that the officers put in to be successful at the Ontario Police College. But we know that that's just the start of it. Yes, that part was hard, but yet when you go into the field, things can be very hard. But when you look at what the Ontario Police College has taught you, you have to remember your training. You have to remember what they taught you. Because when you look at that facility, you know, the Ontario Police College, second largest training police academy in North America, only behind the FBI Academy. So you had the privilege of attending a very distinguished training academy for police officers. And you passed. And that is something, that is an accomplishment. Because every officer that's working in the province of Ontario has to go through the Ontario Police College to be a police officer. No matter what service you work for, no matter the flash on your shoulder, everyone had to go through the police college located in Elmer, Ontario. So when you think about that, everyone is equal. Everyone is equal. You all go in there as a brand new recruit, you learn what you learn, and you become a police officer. So congratulations. To get through the police college, you have to persevere because it is difficult. There is a lot that gets thrown at you as a police, as you go through that training. And when you look at that training, I'd like to think that Ontario produces the best officers in North America. With the amount of training that has to happen, the things that get thrown at you, the challenge of having to pass all those exams at the finals, the practical scenarios, the driving, the DT, the physical fitness, and then you have the academic part. And all of you have passed. And that is why we are here today. So now that you've received your badge, the badge and warrant card is a symbol of a police officer's authority. And what you saw here today was the officers receiving their badge, and they are now charged with protecting the citizens, not only within Anishinaabe Nation, but they're sworn officers in the province of Ontario. So they're charged with protecting all its citizens. So that in itself is a big accomplishment. And that in itself is a lot of responsibility. So wear that badge with pride, wear it with honor, because you are part of a distinct group who is charged with protecting all its citizens. So after today, each of you will head out to your first posting. You will always remember your first posting. You'll always remember that first shift. You always remember who you were with and what happened. You know, for me, being in Moose Factory, and I have to say this, I have to put a shout out for Constable Rickard. He is from Moose Factory. So it's always, when I see people from my hometown come through and receive the badge, it is always a complete honor. So Dorinda, you know, Conrad's not here. Unless he's hiding in his camouflage somewhere. But anyway, you know, it's always good to see people from Moose Cree, my hometown. So when you look at that first shift, when you look at what you have to do, you know, because you'll be coached. You will have to learn the ropes, so to speak. And during your coaching experience, you will experience a lot of firsts. You'll go through your first arrest. You'll take your first statement. You'll put together your first Crown brief. These are all things that you learned here before hitting the road. And you will continue to learn over the next few years, because you will see officers working in the field, you'll see what they do, and you'll always take the good of what every officer does and you make it your own. You apply it to your own. And I tell you, By doing that, you will develop your own style of policing on how to interact with the people. You'll learn, those experiences. You'll be able to learn and read people. You'll become good at that. And you'll be able to determine what course of action is the best way to deal with the individual, or even take that statement with that victim. But I'm going to tell you, policing is hard. It is very challenging. It can be very challenging personally and professionally. And these challenges will bring emotions. And you'll have to find a positive release for those emotions. You will, because only you will know when you become overburdened. And we will not know, as your command staff, we will not know when that is. But your supervisors will kind of see the work. And it's usually the work is usually the first indicator. But before that even happens, you have to let your command staff know what is going on. So when it comes to releasing those emotions, do something that is positive for you, something that you like to do. And I know Donovan likes to go camping. I know he likes to go hunting because his dad does that. And when you're living on an island, you have to kind of go off the island and to do some of those things. So if you like golfing, spend time golfing. If you like writing poetry, our board chair, he's a poet. So again, do things that are positive for you to release those emotions. Because policing is challenging. But during your career, the one constant that will always be in your lives will be your family. Your family that is here to support you, your family that is always going to be there to be there when times get tough, and times will get tough. There's no doubt about it. It will get tough. But that's when it's important to communicate with those that you love, with those in your command staff, to let them know how you're being impacted. Because it's going to be hard for us to help if we don't know. And that goes the same with your family. As you know, Anishinaabe Police, we are your unique police service. We are charged with protecting 34 of 49 NAN communities. 23 are remote communities, and 11 are road access. So many of our newest officers will be required to fly in for 2 weeks, and they'll have the luxury of having 2 weeks off. And I tell you, that schedule there provides a really good work-home life balance. And we've seen that. We've seen people come to our service specifically so they can have that schedule. It allows you to work, but it allows you to have time off, to recharge, because working in policing is very difficult. It can be very challenging. So that schedule allows you to have time away and recharge. When you head up to your communities to go and do your rotations, and you heard it already, you already heard the message from our Deputy Grand Chief, from our board chair, and I'm going to repeat the same message. Be involved with your communities. Be engaged. They want to get to know you. They want you to get to know them. By doing that, by being involved, doing your community-oriented policing, which you learned at the Ontario Police College. If you do that, your job will become easier. If you don't, your job will be difficult. You heard me say yesterday, we were in one of our remote communities. And during our meeting with the leadership up there, they had that same, that's what they want. We were told yesterday. They want to see the officers be engaged. They want to see the officers active within the community, not only in the community, but at the school. So be involved at the school, at community events, as I tell you, it will make your job easier. So when you look at being involved, here's a few words of advice. Because I tell you, you're going to meet amazing people along the way, but you're also going to be seeing the worst of people along the way. So a few words of advice. Like I said, you get to know the community. Go to those community events. Mingle with people when you're at those community events. Get to know them. Get to know those people. Take a genuine interest in what is happening in the community. When you're out there working, look at your shoulder flash. Look at those grandfather teachings on there. One of them is truth. Be truthful with the people you're interacting with. Be honest. Don't be afraid to say you don't know and that you'll get back with an answer. You'll find that you employ those teachings. You will find that you will get the respect back if you respect the people that you're dealing with. So remember that, because the people that you're going to encounter, they're going through difficult times. So be humble when you're dealing with them. Treat people with dignity, because people want to be treated with dignity. So treat them that way. You will find you treat people that way, you will get that respect back. So when you look at that, if you follow what's on your shoulder flash, those grandfather teachings, and I only mentioned a couple, you employ that, you will have success. So in closing, I want to thank the families. Denise, Pat, thank you very much. Dorinda, thank you very much. So when you look at that, the families, thank you for supporting your sons, our newest officers, because without them, without our officers, our communities will not be safe. So it's important that we have officers in the field. We have great officers in the field, because it makes our communities safe. And that's what our leadership wants. They want safe communities, and you are charged with that. You are charged with protecting our communities. It is your responsibility. So you have the biggest job out of anyone within the service, because you are out there on the front line. And you have our respect, because the command staff, the officers that are here, they know that environment that you're going into, because that environment can be a very good environment to work in, but it all depends on you and how you engage with the communities. So with that being said, I think that is enough words of advice. You know what you have to do, and I want to see you do it. So on behalf of my deputy chief, my command staff, all the other officers, and on behalf of our employees from Anishinaabe Police, I want to thank our employees. It took a lot of people to have our officers up here, from our HR department, quartermaster, logistics, training, finance, so there's a lot of people that contributes to the success of the officers. And I just want to thank everyone, the families, our employees, for doing a great job, for doing what they have to do to fill the rank and file. And it's important that we now give a big round of applause for our newest officers and welcome not only to the NAPS policing family, but to the worldwide policing family. So we honor you. And thank you very much for choosing Nishnabiyatski Police to start your policing career. But we're also going to honor one person here today. I know there's some words that are going to have to get said, but I just want to kind of start these words myself, and I'll have Corey kind of finish it off. But we're going to call forward, I think she's in the room here somewhere. This lady, I've had the privilege of knowing this lady for she's all my time here at NAPS, and there's things I want to say, but I can't say. And all I will say is that the office is not the same without you. And we miss you already. And we look forward to, interacting with you at our events. But again, we really miss you. But we know it's time for you to enjoy the second part of what you have coming for your life. So we're going to call Laurie Horlick, and I know Corey has some things that he's going to have to say as well, because there's some things that have been written, and I think we're going to give her the mic even. Oh, jeez. I don't know if that's a good idea, to be honest. And you'll see this, because I will say this. This Laurie is, well, you'll see it. No, it's actually, Laurie, I love you. I miss your sass. I just miss your sassiness. So anyway, we are going to honor our former logistics coordinator, Laurie Horlick, who served over 20 years with Nishnabiyatski Police, and she left us at the end of January. Her official retirement date was end of March. So we're going to honor her here today. Laurie, hey, we're going to miss you. We already are. So.
Chief Morrison, if you could remain, actually, we'll be making a presentation for the Achievement Award. This is for the highest class mark at OPC, and it goes to Constable Chris Calbas. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the newest police officers of the Nishnabiyatski Nation. The badge presentation you have witnessed is in some ways symbolic, but the badge is proof positive to each member that they are embarking on a new and exciting career. We honor exceptional performance and those employees who go above and beyond the call of duty. Getting to this point has involved more than just 4 months of training for the recruits, and certainly for the long-serving members here today. I must commend the staff and instructors of the Ontario Police College for their investment they have made in our newest officers, and the board, chief, and deputies' commitment to the ongoing support, molding, and training of the current complement of Nishnabiyatski Police Service members are doing incredible work in the field every day, every shift. I would like to acknowledge the members of the Nishnabiyatski Police Service for their continuous contributions to our new uniformed staff and existing members. The IST team, recruitment, finance department, payroll and benefits, director of finance, director of human resources and team, logistics administrator, executive assistant, criminal intelligence, quartermaster, human resources department, records management analyst, information technology, the caretaker, all these civilian members play an essential and vital role in the successful onboarding of all new officers. That brings us to Lori. I think we can all agree it's been deafeningly silent around there without her. Retirement is a special time to celebrate and a time to reflect on all the amazing partnerships and accomplishments one has made in their career, and today we do just that. Retiring is an exciting time, and to reach this long-awaited milestone that takes years, and often we feel those golden years are never going to come. We have a very special presentation today for a long-serving, dedicated civilian member, 20 years of distinguished service, Lori Horlick, July 7, 2003 to January 31st, 2023. Lori, you are supported and valued by NAPS, and we wish to recognize you today the best we can. On behalf of the entire service, we say congratulations on your retirement, and it will not be the same here at headquarters without you. Your hard work, dedication, and achievements may never be matched. The Chief of Police, present and former, all personally thank you for everything you have contributed exceptionally to the service. Every single member in the service, past and present, wish you a heartfelt congratulations on all the years of service. The first thing you need to know about Lori is she is full of sass. She is a dedicated mother and grandmother who is committed to her family. Lori built many, many connections at work, and no one knew how to run that plane, or sometimes 6 at a time, better than Lori. Her very organized office was full of life and pictures, and it was the hot spot in the building to chat. Lori is fearless, passionate, daring, humble, and strong. Lori knows who she is, and she is very ambitious. She always has and always will have that spark. So Chief Morrison and the entire service wish you good health, happiness, and fun in your retirement. May your retirement be a time of exploration, discovery, and pure enjoyment, and as wonderful as you are. Now, sweet retirement wishes for Lori Horlick. Please stand, and Lori, Chief Morrison, please step forward. I dare you.
Okay, this is a little sad for me, a little bit. I'm very humbled to have spent 20 years with the service. They've actually I've went through some of the best and the worst times in the 20 years that I've been working with NAPS. The chiefs that I work with were amazing. They all had their own unique style and added stepping stones to the strong foundation that we are today. I'm very proud to be part of this. I've known Chief Rollison, like he said, for over 20 years. I knew him when he was just a constable. Now look at him. Like, really, I'm so proud. The hard work is just part of the deal. And you have to be responsible. You have to make sure that you follow through with. When I was dealing with the aviation, each and every one of the people that I put on board, if it was the officers, if it was diplomats, if it was the chief, deputy, they all were taken care of 120%. I left no man behind, or girl for that matter. I think I'm going to regret a little bit of leaving a little bit soon. I think I could have stayed for another year and tortured everybody, but apparently not. It was my time to go. I am excited about spending time with my grandson and my family, and maybe exploring some other options and opportunities that may come my way. Who knew that, 20 odd years ago, I was starting another career in aviation, and I started from the bottom up. I knew nothing about it, and I think I've become very successful with it for the most part. So, again, I appreciate each and every one of yous. I've developed some wonderful relationships and friendships that I know will continue. And, I wish nothing but the best for NAPS. And I'm always going to be part of their family, whether they like it or not. So, and I will always be here with my sass. Okay, so anyhow, thank each and every one of yous. And you all got a little piece of my heart. Thanks.
That is literally the least I've ever heard her say. We love you, Lori. To close us off in a good way before we conclude is Acting Chief Dan Taddeo of the Thunder Bay Police Service. Chief Taddeo, if you would approach the podium.
Thank you very much. There's a saying, fool me once, shame on, that saying. Chief Morrison, thank you. I was asked the last time to provide some closing remarks. I got about 2 hours notice then and got about 2 hours notice today. So maybe speaking from the heart is better than a prepared speech anyhow, but thank you. Elder Cromarty, thank you for your opening remarks. Elder Cromarty, what you say is a testament that training takes you so far, but lived experience takes you to the end. And I've always learned something from people like yourself, speaking from lived experience. And it's something for the recruits to take. After 36 years in law enforcement, I wish you had this type of knowledge when you start the job because it's so vital. Deputy Grand Chief Ashley Paniscum, thank you as well for your words and our relationship in the relatively short period of time I've had this position. My morning and that of Chief Designate Fleury started with the Deputy Grand Chief and other members of Anishinaabe Nation. Then we motored on up and had a great meeting with Chief Morrison and Deputy Chief Snyder, and here we are. And I think that's testament to the relationship that the Thunder Bay Police Service and the value we put on our relationship with the Anishinaabe Nation and the Anishinaabe Police Service. To the Matawa Drum Group, I must single you out as well. Last badge ceremony, I heard them, and for the first time actually, and it so moved me that I asked them attend our exemplary awards ceremony in February, and they were gracious enough to attend, and it was very impactful. So, thank you. And lastly, of course, to the recruits, these excellent officers have put their hand up for a front row seat of life. And as you've heard, life sometimes brings you lemons and sometimes it's lemonade, as the saying goes. So thank you. Anybody who puts their hand up to serve their community in public service needs to be commended. Mr. Mitawabin, what you mentioned about getting to know your community, even in a municipality like Thunder Bay, urban setting, more importantly in the communities you're going to. Please get to know everybody by name. You should be able to do that, and it's exactly what Chief Morrison spoke about. It's so important. It's important, actually, you're going to be going to calls for service, but the call for service when you leave cannot end. You have to go back, even when it isn't a call for service, just to see how people are doing. You kind of own the call for service, if you will, and you might own it for a few years, depending on how long you stay in your various communities. And the measure of success as a police officer for you is actually not so much the commendations you're going to get or perhaps promotions. It's going to be the stories you're never, ever going to hear. So what do I mean by that? Your greatest success is going to be 10 years or 20 years from now, somebody's going to be telling a story about how their life changed because of their interaction with a police officer. Police officer's you. And that interaction is going to positively affect their life. So maybe one day you might hear about it because you might get invited to a graduation. Maybe a person becomes a judge or a lawyer, or a doctor, or a chief of police, or they're a successful business person, or just a really good person, generally speaking. That's the true measure of the success of a policing career. Police services, generally speaking, are judged by two things, in my opinion. One is our success of collaboration, one is success of partnership. This also speaks to individual police officers. That's what I just basically spoke about. I value more than my words can say about our partnership and collaboration with the Anishinaabe Police Service. Because of that, we measure our success by solved homicides. And I'm talking recent homicides as well. So when we make arrests with Anishinaabe Police Service in their communities, we're not only keeping Thunder Bay safe, we're keeping Anishinaabe Nation communities safe as well. And we value that. We value those partnerships. And I value your guidance and your friendship, both yourself and Daryl. As this is my third last speech, I think I have one tomorrow with our own recruits, and then a change of command ceremony in a few weeks with Chief Designate Fleury. I think it's also important to note for yourselves that you have your new family, your detachments, and your greater Anishinaabe Police Service family, and you need to take stock of yourself, and Chief Morrison spoke about that, and that of your mental health, because what you're going to be dealing with sometimes is going to affect you. You cannot say you're going to be the same person today as you are later in life. And I don't mean that as necessarily bad. But I think it's important for you to remember who you are today. That includes the views you have of things or how you interact with people. And I think if you feel that, maybe I need to talk to somebody, please do it. Please do it amongst yourselves, professionals, family, and whatnot. And here's some news for you. Your family is also grown by 370 today, that being the men and women of the Thunder Bay Police Service. We're your new family, your new best friends. That does not bode well for you at Christmas and birthdays as it gets expensive. But seriously, I can tell you now, and I know we've reached out to the Anishinaabe Police Service on mental health partnerships. We're having one where we're getting our families together, our children together on May the 6th, and you've all been invited. And it's important that we keep the families together because our families wear what you people are going to be going to in calls for service. So the partnership and the most, I think probably the best words I heard here today, we are all equal, and we sure are. We all start at the Ontario Police College and we end up going on to a retirement pension. So the flashes we wear only mean who pay us, but the badges we wear mean we're exactly the same. So my congratulations to you. My personal thanks, Chief Morrison and Deputy Chief Snyder and all your people for the friendship we have and the guidance you've given me. And I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief. If you could all now please stand if you're able while the Matawa Drum Group sings a traveling song. Thank you. Please enjoy the remainder of your day and stay for pictures in the hallway at the photo station with the Chief of Police and Deputy Chief before lunch, which will be served shortly. Have a safe evening. Thank you for coming to the Anishinaabe Police Badge and Warrant Card Ceremony.